So, I am Mr. Lindsay, and today we are doing a lesson of the rock cycle. Well, when you think of rock cycle, the first thing you hear, of course, is rock. Well, it's more than just rock. There's processes, there's what I would call operations, there's methods, there's different types of rocks. You have the starting point, the end point. Well, what I consider to be a cycle is you have more than one component, but you can loop it back to the original. Well, I feel that the rock cycle has 5 main components aside from the operations or what's happening in between it. 3 of the 5, what I consider most important, are rocks. Of course, there's 3 main types of rocks. You have the igneous rock, the sedimentary rock, and the metamorphic rock. Here I have a picture of an igneous rock. And the way that I learn better whenever I can make stuff a song, or add some tune to it, or a beat, or something, make it catchy, acronym, something. It helps me personally understand stuff better. It helps me remember stuff better. So I have a song for igneous rock. All right, you ready? Are you sure? You positive? Here we go. All right. Magma cools and rocks are made. Igneous form from fires fade. Perfect. See? Now you know that igneous rocks are made from cold magma. Perfect. All right, next. What my favorite rock is, I have the sedimentary rock. And to me, honestly, it just looks the most cool. There's different sedimentary rocks are known for their layers. And another song that I have is sedimentary has layers. Okay, see, as you're making your sedimentary, you're making layers with your arms. That way you can remember has layers. As you're making the rock, you have layers. And then the last rock I have is metamorphic. And the way that I remember, this is actually my favorite song to do. The way that I remember a metamorphic rock is heat and pressure makes a metamorphic rock. Heat and pressure makes a metamorphic rock. Yeah, that's the way that I personally remember it. But that's just me. So for an activity I have, so at the top, you're gonna do your name, your day, and your class period. Well, you see here, I had drew out the rock cycle, but there's a catch. There is your 5 main parts, and there's arrows, and as you can see, the 5 main parts are underlined, but there's arrows that have just lines and no words. You gotta fill that out. But how are you gonna do it if I haven't talked about the other 2 parts yet? How are you gonna do that? How do you know what they are? Easy. Flip the page over. On the back, you have all your vocabulary that you're gonna need. I have what is underlined is what we are using, like what I already gave you, the 5 most important parts, and then what's highlighted is the vocabulary that you're going to use to fill in. The other two main components are sediment and magma. Sediment is basically just broken parts of sand, rock, shells, the individual pieces of the rock. And then, or what's formed to make the rocks, like what's used. And then the magma is just melted rock. I mean, it's kind of just melted rock, or a lot of people call it lava. I personally like magma. I feel like that sounds more vocabulary. So I have them labeled. You have igneous rock, magma, metamorphic rock, sedimentary rock, sediment, and igneous rock. Well, in order to go from one to other, you have operations that occur. Each arrow Some arrows have 2 words. Some arrows just have 1. That is up to you to figure out. You're going to use the vocabulary that I have highlighted in order to do this. So the words, the vocabulary that's underlined, I gave you. The words that are highlighted, I gave you definitions, but you have to fill out the rest of the raw cycle in order to do that. Using the songs that you learned. You have the Sedimentary song, Metamorphic song, Igneous rock song. Heat and pressure makes a metamorphic rock. Sedimentary has layers. So what do you think goes in a sedimentary rock? And then you have igneous rock. You have the magma cooling rock makes igneous rocks. Simple, right? Yeah. So, and then once you're done with that, you're going to go on the back and you're going to, I just want you to simply just draw me a rock. Draw me a metamorphic rock, an igneous rock, and a sedimentary rock. And thank you.